Hello and welcome back to another episode of BD Radio. It's been a while, but we have cleared space in our schedule. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you.
Wrapped to be here. It's been a busy 3 weeks. Obviously, we were in lockdown again, but we're out now. We're back in the gym. How'd you find this round of lockdown?
Harder. I think they get harder each time because you have an expectation now, and you kind of dread things you know you're going to dread. Whereas the first time it was like, oh, well, this is new.
Fresh challenge.
Yeah.
And then the back half of last year was like, this is dead set depressing now. This has been too long.
Yeah.
And then this one's just depressing because we thought it was done.
Yeah, exactly.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
Had 100,000 people at the MCG for Anzac Day, and now we're stuck in a home. It's like, wow, what a full 180.
Yeah, but at least this time we had the nutrition side of the business that obviously kept going.
Yeah. We're a lot more prepared for what to do now.
Yeah, exactly.
How to handle it, which is good. Always makes things a little bit easier, but it's still the uncertainty that's the tough part. I think most people would agree with that. It's the not knowing.
Definitely.
Other news, we are moving facilities.
Yay!
Yeah, we're actually catching up with our new landlord, the Savo, and agent to run through and have a look at the fit-out stuff that we'd like to do. So that'll be good. Hopefully we'll have some more news for everyone later on that, once we can finalise all that stuff and get everything through council that we need to. Then we'll have some more concrete dates on what's happening there. So exciting stuff on our end. And another update before we get into our questions. You're back training?
I am.
It's good. Harry's what, 3 months?
Nearly 4, we think.
You forgot his birthday.
Yeah, the third baby. Poor boy, we don't know how old he is.
Yep.
But yeah, it's nice to be building some consistency back with that. Because we've been so busy, I found it a little bit harder with Harry to be consistent from quite early.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like I'm back in the groove, which is nice.
What sort of stuff are you focusing on at the moment?
Just building my strength back up, really. Not stressing about the stuff that I know is still a little bit compromised. So I'm not doing much running and that kind of thing because my pelvic floor. I'm, being smart with my choices of core exercises and that kind of thing. And yeah, just wanting that consistent, 4 to 5 sessions a week back.
Yep. Yeah. It's been nice. That's the way I put it. No more training by myself. It's good. So we asked a while back for some questions from members, and then stuff came up, and we weren't able to quite get to them in the time frame that we liked, that we would have liked to. But we can bring them back up today because these are universal questions. They do not have a time period on them. So first question, and I thought this was an excellent one to get started. How many calories do I need?
Oh. Well, that depends on who the person is. That is one of the things that really bothers me. Standardized meal plans.
Calculators.
If you're a woman this age, consume this many calories.
Yeah.
Steer clear of that, guys.
What's the one? 1,200.
Oh,
yeah.
Terrible. It's terrible. So it is very much based on the individual and their metrics, circumstances, goals.
History.
There are so many considerations to make in terms of calories. And to be honest, we don't do a lot with calories
as in directly tracking.
Yeah. But the one thing that's very, very clear is everyone's lack of understanding about the calories.
Yeah.
So actually understanding what that number means.
Yeah, I think that's an important consideration, is that just because we don't necessarily prescribe counting them, counting them on an app or however you like to do it, it doesn't mean we disregard them completely. They're still an important part of nutrition. It's the closest thing we've got as a measurable of each food's value of energy. It's not perfect. I think that's another important point, but it's still, it's close enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Speaking of the language, I use energy a lot when I talk to my
Mm.
nutrition clients. Like, always think of it as, energy you're consuming and energy that you are putting out.
Yeah, expending.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So to find out how many calories you need, the best way to do it would be to not, and this will probably give you a bit of an indication of like just how finicky this can actually be. The thing you should do, if you wanted to know exactly, is weigh, measure, track everything that you eat for 2 weeks, and then see how your body measurements and weights change.
No,
Now-
we'll find out what that value is, you mean, first.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's say that my weight stays stable, and I've found out that at an average of 2,500 calories a day over a 2-week period, then I would roughly know that that's my maintenance. That would be the best way to do it. But I'm talking about not just eyeballing a plate and being like, oh yeah, that's about 100 grams of chicken. Oh yeah, that's about this much of rice. But like actually putting everything on food scales. And as soon as people hear that, they're like, oh, too hard. And that's why we don't necessarily start with it, is because 95% of our clients on our nutrition program who we speak to in the gym can achieve their goals without having to do stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone thinks they want to count calories. If you are not willing to do that,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah. Plenty of ways to skin a
Don't count
cat.
calories.
Yeah.
Because there is no point counting them incorrectly.
No. That'll just lead to more stress than results.
Yeah, so if you're going to do it, you have to be in.
Yeah. But you also have to know how to do it properly, and I think that's probably an issue. If people get on the internet like a fossil. Like, people get on the line on the internet, watch a 2-minute YouTube video on how to do it, and then get upset when they don't see the results they want. And it's the same as everything else. If you want to be proficient at a skill, you need to take the time to learn how to do it properly.
Correct. Don't worry about the Instagram influencers, guys.
Yeah, most of them are.
They have their own chefs anyway.
Yeah, well, that and a chemist. Anyway, moving on. Basically, let's just put a little knot on it. It's completely individual. It takes time to establish, and there's no calculator on the internet that is going to tell you. It'll just give you a rough guide, and if that's a starting point, then that's okay. But it's only a starting point, and it can change every week. That's basically the rundown, I think.
Agree.
Yep. All right. How do measurements go down but weight on the scales go up? I've just worded that so poorly. How can measurements go down but weight on the scales go up?
I love it.
You want to explain?
Oh, it's so good. So, like, our bodies are made up of different, like, everyone just thinks weight is weight.
Different tissues.
Yeah, and it's not. So
No.
we have different tissues. So most of our body, like, we have a lot of water in our body. Yeah. Then
Bones.
we've got bones.
Muscle.
We've got muscle.
Muscle glycogen.
That's it. And then we've got fat.
Blood.
So people just
Water.
automatically just go weight, fat.
I'm heavier, I'm fatter.
Yep.
I'm lighter, I'm skinnier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is so wrong.
Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to lose 200 grams, I just go to the toilet. Like, that's not... And this is a little bit of a bugbear of mine. Your weight is your relationship to the ground. Nothing more. Like, it is not, there's no, oh, well, I'm a girl, I should be 60 kilos, or I'm a bloke, I should be 90 kilos. Like, same as the calories sort of question, it is completely individual. Your ideal weight is up to you to decide, no one else. And what you do in your lifestyle every day, your weight will change. Every day it'll change, fluctuate up, down. I'm sure my weight was up after after the smash cake on the weekend. Probably would have gone up a little bit. And if you're not educated in the reasons why, it can be quite stressful, and you can carry that stress and then overcompensate and just ride the roller coaster, every day, every week. It is important to distance yourself from the number and view it as it should be viewed, which is just a point of data, and that's all.
Yeah, I would agree. And you know what? Yeah, what is that to you? What is that? What is that number to you? Like, is it? I think for most people, they think it's fat.
Yeah.
So, like, if you wanted an accurate body fat percentage, you're not going to get it from the scales.
No.
And even those, those new like handheld scans and all that stuff, they're not accurate, guys.
No.
They're calibrated within a certain level. But
Yeah.
if you actually want like accurate,
As close as you can get to
body
accurate,
composition,
nothing's 100%.
exactly. Like you're looking at a DEXA scan.
That'd be your closest. And even then, your hydration can throw that out as well.
Exactly. Like this, there's so many things, but your weight is certainly not one of them.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's our spiel on weight. Your measurements can go down, but your weight can go up if you are... let's say it's a person who's relatively experienced with training. They've just started our nutrition program. They've lost no weight, but they've lost 20 centimeters. Mm-hmm. And this happens a lot. So once we start to adequately fuel them for the activity that they are doing, which usually means eating a little bit more protein, which probably means that they're gaining a little bit of lean muscle, which takes up far less space than fat in the body. And as a result, they're smaller, but they weigh the same. So it's sort of like a bit of a trick question when people go, oh, what's heavier, a kilo of fat and a kilo of muscle? And it's like, well, they're both a kilo, but the muscle's significantly smaller. So that's basically how that happens.
Yeah, that's a valid
gaining
point.
Muscle,
also
losing fat,
yeah.
Or in the words of Women's Health magazine, toning up.
Toning up.
Toning up.
Also, like, there's so many different things when it comes to metrics. That's why we do use a combination of different things. But especially for females, like, depending on when you measure yourself, like, your hormones play a really big role.
Oh, great point.
Especially in the navel and chest measurement. So you'll see, and it can also in the weight metric as well. So yeah, there's so many things that you need to take into account, and that's one thing that I've found really interesting with my guys so far has been the trends that you see.
Yeah.
With the females, it's amazing.
Yeah. Another one with that is if you are weighing yourself regularly, and I'll just speak to my personal experience. So for some people, weighing themselves often is a negative. Like it can affect their mindset too much. Either it's a really great start to the day if they've lost 200 grams, or it's a terrible start to the day, and it affects the rest of their decisions and actions. For me, it was actually quite helpful because the more I did it, the less weight I put on it. Like it wouldn't affect me as much, and I just started to treat it as just another data point.
Yeah, also you're not really an average person, I'd say,
No.
Ben, given what we
said,
do and what we're exposed to every day.
I just said personal experience.
Yeah.
But it can, like, it depends on the person. And I have heard people say when I measured myself more on the program, like, it didn't bother me as much. Like, it was something that you just sort of got over the hurdle, and it's a point of data, and that's all. And I thought that was great. But other people are opposite. It can go the other way.
I've just noticed.
What?
I can't believe it. Like a week later, Ben has paint on his beard.
Paint? Do I actually?
We were painting the gym last week, and he's got paint all down the bottom.
I'm giving gold
Oh,
advice,
wow.
and now you're noticing.
None of our clients told you.
Well, probably because you can't see it.
Oh, yeah, the mask.
You know what? Might be yogurt as well. I had yogurt before. Bit of white yogurt. That's great. Anyway.
Sorry.
To circle all the way back around, you can lose size basically, but stay the same weight. And ultimately, if your measurements are tracking in the right direction, that's what matters anyway. Who cares how much you weigh?
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Like no one ever says, yeah.
How much energy do you have? You know,
Exactly.
don't, like, imagine if you woke up and wrote an energy score out of 10 rather than just jumped on the scales. Like, there's heaps of different things that we can do to make like progress a lot more objective rather than just weight stayed the same, I'm a failure.
Yeah, I love that. That warmed my heart. That's true. Like, imagine people woke up and rated how they felt rather than
how was my sleep last night?
A number.
Do I feel refreshed?
Yeah.
Health is not a body size, guys.
Well done, Ben.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
thanks. put that on a bumper sticker. All right, next question. Protein high snacks, our favourites. I would say that across the board, this has probably been one of the things that most of our nutrition clients have struggled with the most is good snacking options. Yeah, I was going to embellish, but that's basically the point.
There's two things here. And it's funny because I've had a few people ask me. So, like, we get our nutrition clients to do a food diary. And in that food diary is breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. Right?
Yep.
And then the first one we get people to do, and we just want to see what they do. So we give them no advice at all.
Yeah.
And they
just
feel
to establish
it in.
a baseline.
And generally speaking,
what are you doing now?
Exactly.
Give us an idea.
Generally speaking, when we get them back, we see breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, and they've filled it out.
Just on that, it's also, generally speaking, because they've like subconsciously begun the nutrition program, it's generally at a higher level than what they're normally doing, which is completely normal, and we expect that.
Yeah. Then when we do the second one, they're like, there is a massive reduction in the snacks. That's the first thing we've noticed across the board.
Yep.
So you don't actually need to snack, guys.
Which is typically targeted
some people don't.
by us anyway. Like, we usually aim for that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, your day as a whole, your week as a whole, that's what we're looking at. But we need to go beyond you sit down for a cuppa and have a snack at 10 o'clock. Because that's not necessary. But, however, if you do want a snack, a high protein option, then, well, everyone knows we love our Blue Dinosaur bars.
Yeah.
That's probably the rare snack that we have.
Speaking of which, Blue Dinosaur, if you're listening, sponsor us already. 'Cause I'm eating us out of house and home with these Blue Dinosaur bars.
So, yeah, that's one of our go-tos. Hard-boiled eggs is another one for me. Ben doesn't really like hard-boiled eggs, but I do.
I just ate them for 3 years, and the smell of them, like,
no, don't
I'm
like
off them.
them.
I'll be back on them soon. I'm just off them at the moment.
Yeah. A piece of fruit and some nuts. It's not as much protein, but you are getting a little bit of protein there with your nuts. Just making sure that it's not... I think that's another thing people get carried away with. Like, when people think food, they think it's carbs, it's protein, or it's fats. You need to look at... It's a combination of.
Yeah.
So, whereas I think people have that very isolated view.
Just as a snacking general rule, don't get them where you fill your car up. Please. Like, if you're looking for something where it's like, oh, what can I do to be healthier? Stop buying food at Servo's is like a tick straight away. That would definitely help. In regards to high protein snacks, like tuna, eggs, as you said, nuts, like whole foods.
Yeah.
Nothing we've said here apart from the Blue Dinosaur bars, which is made up of whole foods anyway, is processed food.
Yeah.
It's all, off a tree, off a plant, off a ground. Like, you can make it, you can do whatever you like. We've also got a bunch of recipes on our blog. We love muffins. They've been a favourite in our house, with Mia especially. Heaps of little, like, oat, banana cookies, like, stuff that we can make, we will always prioritise over stuff that we can buy.
Absolutely.
That's a general sort of takeaway as well. If you can make it, tick. If you can buy it, tread carefully.
Yeah, just make sure you're looking at the back of the packet.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't trust the high protein sticker on the front.
Don't trust the cafe with their protein balls either. No offense to any cafe owners listening. We know what you do. You load it with dates. All right. So chill out on the high protein, because we're on to you. All right. But it's like, and also on cafes and stuff, like, they don't care about your health. They just care if it tastes good. So just, a raised eyebrow every time you go in there would be handy, I think. But protein snacks, whole foods first.
Yes.
Whole foods first, or smoothies is a good one as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And, here's a good one. How to stop snacking. So this ties in with a previous question. If your meals are adequate, that goes a long way to helping you curb hunger in between.
Yeah.
We're not 6 years old anymore. We don't have playtime at 11, lunch at 1, after school snack at 3. Most of us, like even us, who people are like, oh, you guys own a gym. The majority of our days, we are sitting on our bum on laptops. Like we're not that active. We train, yes. We do steps in class, but I'm just trying to think. The only population of people I know who'd be like snacking all day, and I'd be like, yep, cool. Brickies, labourers, tradies out all day. Yeah. Most of us are fairly sedentary, even if you don't think you are, you are.
Yeah, I was about to say that. What people think they are is, a big...
People's jaws usually drop once we start tracking their steps.
Yeah.
And they're like, I was so busy yesterday. I did 5,000 steps. They're like, wow, maybe I'm not as active as I thought. Now, that's not to say that steps are the best way to measure activity. Like sometimes you can be really busy and just not have that many steps. But similar with the calories, like it's pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah.
Anyway.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Whole nother podcast on like perception and realities and changing beliefs and everything, but that's an education thing.
Exactly.
And that comes with time.
My advice with the snacking is the more whole foods you can eat, the less likely you are to want to snack every couple of hours. So the reason why people want to eat
protein, carbs, and fats at your meals. Balanced meals.
He keeps cutting me off, but I'm still going, guys.
I've got a PT in 2 minutes. I'm trying to put a bow on it.
The reason why people want to snack is because we eat so many processed carbs.
Oh yeah.
So if we fill our diet,
I had a client who was a prime example of that.
Yeah.
Carbs all day. I'm hungry all the time. We added protein to every meal, and she's like, I'm not hungry anymore.
Yeah. It's incredible.
But
whole foods. So it's not just, it's not as simple as you think it is, guys.
No.
So just our advice, is always real food first.
Yeah.
We understand that sometimes life gets busy and we have some less optimal options, but knowing.
But it's your baseline.
What you do as a whole.
Yes.
With your nutrition.
Yeah.
Is good, then that will hold you to a really, really good standard.
100%. Yeah. So it's like always think about the routine rather than the once-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as a population, we tend to get hung up. Oh well, last month it was a full moon, and I turned into a wolf, and I ate 3 pizzas. But normally I eat really well, and it's like, well, we don't need to worry about that as much, because it's the consistency of your routine, and it's what you normally do that holds you in good stead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
How to stop snacking though? Definitely eat protein with every meal. That really, really helps.
Protein does help.
Protein helps big time.
Reduce those processed carbs, guys.
Protein tattooed to my forehead. It's like the answer to every question in the gym. What do I need to just eat more protein, please? It really solves most of the general population's problems.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not as pro protein as Ben, but you guys know us.
That will work. All right, guys. We're hoping to get much more back into the swing of these every week. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.